Assalamu alaikum. This is a short presentation about the new Covid-19 laws and guidance Muslims should know about from the 17th of May 2021, social distancing, salah, janazah and nikah. I'm going to cover all those points. I'm going to make 9 points in total. And my focus is going to be really about social distancing in Masjids, so please pay careful attention to that. Point 1. In your home, from the 17th of May 2021 in England, restrictions have eased and the rules of 6 applies. You can meet up indoors with friends and family you do not live with, either in a group of up to 6 from any number of households. Children of all ages count towards the limit of 6, and in a group of any size from up to 2 households. Each household can include an existing support bubble if eligible. And the social distancing guidance covered is this: if you are meeting friends and family, you can make a personal choice on whether to keep your distance from them, but you should still be cautious. You should read the guidance on meeting friends and family, and that's contained in the updated guidance dated the 17th of May 2021 on coronavirus restrictions, what you can and cannot do. Point 2, at your masjid, including its grounds, the following is permitted activity, and this again is from the 17th of May onwards: individual and collective acts of worship, Janazah prayer, wedding ceremony, nikah, wedding reception, walima, madrasa and cafe. And the questions that are now going to follow from this slide are going to be this: what is the social distancing guidance for the above activity, and can individuals pray next to each other? And the answer is going to be basically this: that it depends on the activity. Is it a daily salah or is it a Janaza Salat? And there are limits that you need to pay careful attention to. Point 3 then is all about social distancing guidance changes. This is from the government guidance on places of worship, updated the 14th of May 2021. Under the heading capacity limits for different activities at stage 3, the number of individuals or groups permitted in a place of worship at any one time will be dependent on the size of the building and ability to social distance therein. Limits for communal worship should be decided on the basis of the capacity of the place of worship following an assessment of risk. From step 3, in line with indoor and social contact limits, individuals may attend communal worship in groups of 6 or larger groups where everyone present is from the same 2 households. Under heading adapting practices to reduce the spread of the infection, it says this: religious practices should be carried out in such a way which ensures social distancing can be maintained between different households. And under heading social distancing at weddings, funerals and significant life events and commemorative events, it says this: from step 3, the guidance on meeting family and friends will change with great emphasis, and personal responsibility and close contact with family and friends will be a personal choice. What's also encouraged is to exercise caution. It goes on to say social distancing, staying 2 meters away, reduces the spread of COVID-19. Point 3 continued. The separate guidance, coronavirus restrictions, what you can and cannot do, updated the 17th May 2021. It says this: you can go to a place of worship for a service when a service is taking place indoors. Now, this is crucial. You must not mingle in groups larger than 6, except when everyone present is from no more than 2 households, including support bubbles. You should maintain social distancing between groups at all times. Notice it's social distancing between groups. When a service is taking place outdoors, you must not mingle in groups larger than 30. Point 3 continued. Therefore, a summary of the social distancing guidance is this: in your home, social contact law is permitted, limited to a group of 6 or 2 households, and it's your personal judgment call whether to exercise social distancing. There is no 2-meter instruction from the government. When it comes to government guidance on social distancing in places of worship in the masjid during salah, that's in service, the total numbers are dependent on the venue capacity. That's always been like that. But the social distancing is 2 meters between groups, not individual households who can stand together. Therefore, the group is a group of 6. So, for example, you've got 6 people, A, B, C, D, E, F, they're 2-meter gap. Then you have 6 people, G, H, I, J, K, L. Then you have a 2-meter gap, and then you have M, N, O, P, Q, R, and so on. And this, or you could have a floor plan where there's groups of 2 households, including the support bubble, together. So, for example, it could be 2 households with a 2-meter gap, then you have 2 households and you have a 2-meter gap. When it comes to Janazah and Nikah and social distancing, this is based on the risk assessments and it's personal judgment of the venue manager in cooperation with the attendees whether to reconfigure the floor plan to have a social distance or not during a Janazah or Nikah. I know it's slightly complex, but that's how the government guidance has been worded. I know it's complicated, but point 3 in terms of actions, therefore, what you should do is you should update your risk assessments. You should take into account local infection rates or local outbreaks, take account of public health advice, hospitalisation, deaths and variants. And therefore, masjid managers have options for the salah, the daily salah. Floor plan and markings as it is between households with social distancing of 2 meters between different households, or you can reconfigure the floor plan post 17th of May government guidance where you have groups of 6 or 2 households for the salah and implement social distancing of at least 2 meters. Or you can have another option, which is depending on how serious the situation gets, you can suspend salah maybe for public access. When it comes to janazah prayer and weddings, you can do as above, but it's to do with personal choice whether people want to socially distance when it comes to janazah prayer or nikah. Point 4 is there are no set numerical limits on numbers who can attend for Janazah prayer at the masjid, whether following a set Jamaat prayer or outside of a set Jamaat prayer. That's confirmed in the government guidance on places of worship. There should always be a risk assessment in place and taking into account on judgment calls, taking into account the infection rates, hospitalisation, deaths and variants, and public health. Point 5, when it comes to wedding ceremonies, nikah, wedding and receptions, walima is limited to 30 people, including children. Doesn't include anyone working, e.g. the waiters or the photographer or the wedding stage planner, like myself. Point 6, when it comes to madrasa, out-of-school settings and wraparound childcare, providers can offer provisions to all children without restriction on the reason for which they may attend both indoor and outdoor, and that's on the government guidance. There should always be a risk assessment, implement reasonably precautionary measures, as per the guidance on out-of-school settings. Point 7 is about cafes. These can open from the 17th of May. Hospitality spaces within the place of worship, such as cafes, are permitted to open both inside and outside, and managers should follow hospitality guidance. People may also provide their own food and drink at a place of worship, but should ensure actions are taken to reduce the risk of transmission. It goes on to say, as long as hospitality spaces or caterers does not serve alcohol, people can order and collect food and drink from the counter, but they should consume food and drink while seated. Point 8, the law on face coverings is still in force. Everyone should wear face coverings unless exempt in the place of worship in the masjid. Venue managers should encourage wearing face coverings as a way to stop transmission and to keep people safe via announcements and posters. Attendees are not required to show proof of entry if they say they are exempt. And venue managers are not police officers. They've got no power to enforce face coverings for those who they believe are not following the law. Point 9 is concluding points. Please update your risk assessments. Continue to implement reasonable precautionary measures. Please don't be complacent. Variants can increase in an area, and the government can reintroduce nationwide restrictions. For example, they did that with the English variant in January, or local tiers. Read and listen to local public health advice. It's advice. Challenge any local authority spot checks and decisions which you consider to be wrong, unfair, or discriminatory. I hope I've tried to explain as best as I can the ideas behind social distancing for daily salah and social distancing guidance or lack of when it comes to Janaza Salat. Please subscribe to YouTube channel Greater Manchester Muslim Forum so you can so you have an opportunity to watch the videos when they're published. Please subscribe to Community Legal Education, which I produce short legal video explains for the wider society. Thank you for watching. Please do share this video, and if you do have any queries or questions, please give me a call. Keep me in your du'as. Assalamu alaikum.